Hi everyone. So our lean management name is Whakapai Tonu. So you will all know ka pai, everything's ka pai. So pai means good. Whaka means kind of like doing stuff, and tonu is forward and increase. So it was a bit of a fluke that that name suits us, suits this program. So as a business overview, our mission is to warm and eco-power our deep south. So the way that we do that is we put nice warm insulation into people's homes. We also put heating into people's homes. We do solar PV. We do hot water heat pumps. We do wind turbines, and there's a range of all those products that are coming out in bits and pieces. So the other thing about our business and our team, we have strong values, and I think that's a real key element in our business. So all of our staff, they're not going to give you the wrong advice and say go put a solar PV system in when actually you need insulation. So I'm fortunate to have really good staff with good values that hold strong to those principles. So when we first started lean management, we had to come up with the reasons why we were doing lean management. And so when we first started, we come up with things like we wanted to create efficiency, become the leaders in this industry, and have just organised processes. But just reflecting back, I don't know if we actually really understood what we really wanted until we've kind of gone through it. And so just up here, I just want to give a wee bit of a background. So a couple years back, we used to be a small subcontractor. A national company we were the ones that we were subcontracted by, and then they were below, and Southland Homes Trust contracted them. So a few years back, they went into liquidation, and from there we had to merge kind of both companies together. And so for the last 3 to 4 years, we have been on this continuous change. And it's been non-stop change for us, to be honest. And we've also been kind of having to jump with the changes in the government and the subsidies for insulation reducing and everything else. So for us, change has been like a huge thing. So from reflecting back and thinking now, I think the lean management program has been like a stake in the ground for us to be like, this is how we're going to organise ourselves and our processes and who we are and what we do, instead of reacting to our external environment. So for me, that's how I think that's what we're going to get out of this. So this is a bit of a kind of an old saying, old principle, which is he waka eke noa, which means a canoe which we are all in with no expectations. So exceptions. So back then with all those changes, 2 different companies, and we all did things differently, and so to have us all on the same waka and going down the stream and flowing. Because I think what's happened previously from before, when we merged together, we've been on a waka, but we've probably been going against the tide a bit and going up on the bank a wee bit, losing a few people off on the side, on the way, a few paddles and everything else. So for us, I think it is like we're all going to get in the waka and we're all going to try and flow down the river instead of against it. So here is our team. We have tried to, through the past 6 months, incorporate as much as our team. Our team do a wonderful job. Like, for us, winter is highly stressful. As you all know, people complain about their power bills. And everyone complains about how cold it is in Southland. So if you can understand, our team get these phone calls of people that are stressed out, they've got high power bills, they're freezing, and they're wondering how are we going to fix it. then the pressure comes on of we want it done today. We don't want to have to wait and everything else. So, and then the next stage for our team is having to organise that work, but then also go out and work in the cold, and it's not easy. So, I take my hat off to our team because they do a really, really good job. And with all the changes we've had and the external stresses we've had to put up with, it's been major challenges. So we try and have fun when we can. So I've just got photos of our journey and kind of where we started. So the whole team putting up our process map, coming here with the big butch paper and everyone having a go at it. And the other cool thing was to see that everyone wanted to be involved in our team. Like, there wasn't anyone, I don't think, that kind of sat back and thought, what is this? Everyone gave it a go. Clint coming in and telling us what to do, always drinking his coffee. The team at different times putting it up. And we've got one person in our office who, she loves things nice and neat and tidy, so we'd put it all up and then the next day we'd come back and it would be all redone. We'll put up beautifully. And all of our offies. So we had heaps of offies because for us, the process is probably what's led us down in our business a lot, and having to change our processes to meet external. So there's been a lot of frustrations over the past few winters with that, and it was awesome to have them all up and everyone having a say. So this is kind of our before and after board. I haven't shown close-ups because we haven't finished all of our homework. Because there's been, coming out of winter for us is hard work, and that is a big challenge to try and find that time. So our game changer for our organisation is our process map. So here's a copy of our process map. And I think for me personally, and even I know in the office, what I'm hearing is these checkpoints. So it can't go past there until everything on this list is done. And you can just hear the culture and the way that everyone speaks. That we're all talking about PMS because that's the that's what the abbreviation is. So, and here are just some photos of before and after. So a lot of mess, kind of slight improvement, and then blocking it off totally. So one of the things that we learnt from Clint was our landlord stores a lot of stuff in our shed, and so we can't shift it and everything else, and we were like, what do we do with it? And he said, think it off, because what happens is if you can see something that doesn't look very tidy, it kind of everyone wants to go to that level and have it untidy. So by blocking it off, it kind of helps create the rest of the space. And there's just some more improvements. So the 5S team, unfortunately, none of them are here representing today, but they've done a good job at starting it off. They actually sat in the office by themselves on the whiteboard. They really tried to plan out the area. So we were sitting on about 20, 22 in terms of points, and then there was even arguments that was too high, and then Clint come along and gave us a 38, and it's not as high as all the other teams, but we're pretty proud of that, and our team is, they were like, wow, awesome, 38. But they also looked at what are the easy things that they could lift that to get higher. So I'm proud. And these are just a few other areas. So the red tag area, which everyone was talking about, and just the guys shifting stuff around has made simple changes for them. So as I said before, one of the major challenges for us is winter. So it's not even just having to do the work and being busy, but it's actually just the external kind of stuff that people ring in for, and us trying to keep up with demand. And and I think this year in Southland we've had like a pretty cold winter, so that hasn't helped us. Oh, and another challenge I think is trusting Clint's process, because he was only giving us bits at a time, and trusting him that we had to do it one step at a time, because there's, like, personally for me, I want to jump to the end of the process and I work backwards. That's just how I operate, and there's a few others in the team that are like that. So I think that's been a challenge, is to kind of like slow down and just take it step by step. The other challenge for us is, half of our workforce is off-site and all over the show, so having to kind of pull everyone together, that's been a challenge. And I think because we are so used to having so much change, I think the challenge for us is going to be slowing down on the change and putting it into our management system. So that's quite exciting for us. So that was probably moving on to key insights. Key insights is, we've got a system that is structured and organised for us. It's a game changer for us, knowing our process. And I think all of the staff and just the language and the culture, we're talking about 5Sing all the time. We've actually got our own Facebook, our own staff Facebook, and one of our guys put up a photo just yesterday to say that he's 5Sing his house, which is pretty cool. Like, it's rippling out into people's lives. So we're very, very grateful to be part of this program, and huge thank you to Venture Southland, Scott, for the us annoying you, and Clint for everything that you have shared with us. So really appreciate it. So thank you.
Look, thank you, Samari. A couple of things I want to cover here. First of all, lovely team. I walk in there, you get different coffee, muffins, a few cuddles. It's a great company. Love it. But of course, even with the best intent in life, you cannot function without process. And you yourself have owned up. Without good process, we are always fighting a losing battle. So that's the first thing, and you've identified that, and that goes for all of the businesses here today. It's about good, robust, quality-driven process. You cannot deliver consistency and quality and efficient services without good process. So you've all taken that on board. The other thing is 5S, guys. A comment that I use a lot, or a saying I use a lot, is, does your workplace work for you, or do you work for it? Now, when you go to a supermarket's been designed to work for you. It's easy to use, it's efficient, it's safe, and it's actually enjoyable. But 99% of the workforces on the face of the earth do not work for you, you work for them. So what 5S is doing is taking that people on that transition from changing the workplace completely from where we are working for it to where it works for us. And that's what this is all about. And I think the beautiful thing is, one of the comments we're getting from all the teams so far is this enjoyment, this buy-in, this contagious effect. Absolutely, because it's common sense. That's what we teach, is absolute common sense. And sadly, a lot of organizations don't employ common sense, and people just become conditioned to the dysfunctionality. So a big part of the 6 months is taking that change process, that change in thinking, into organizations. And it's amazing when it takes root, because it's actually hard to stop. So just keep going. Well done.